Hey, have you ever wondered what you can do in 9 minutes? I did. About a week and 2 days ago, I did. So I googled it. I couldn't exactly find a list of the things that you could do in 9 minutes, but I did find a list of things that you can do in 10 minutes. So in under 10 minutes, you can load the dishwasher, you can fold and put away folded laundry, you can hoover a living area, you can tidy the kids or the dog's toys. I've got a dog, I'll go with the dog. And if you're black in America, minding your own business by your car, you can also get murdered. A little under 10 minutes, you can get murdered. You can be lying there on the ground, begging for breath, for water, for life, for your mama, as the waste of skin who calls himself the police takes a knee on your neck, cutting your airflow, watching the light of life die in your eyes. In broad daylight, in front of people begging for your life, and cameras rolling for a whole 9 minutes. So I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Imagine seeing the life of a man slip away from his body in 9 minutes, and I just counted for 10 seconds. It's painful, isn't it? So as of last week, minding your business on the street in broad daylight is added to the long list of things that is not safe to do while black in America, like jogging, like meeting up with friends at the park, or meeting up at Starbucks, or failing to use your turn signal, or having expired tags on your car. It's an American thing. Who knows what the tags are? Walking through the front door of your own house. Your own house! Having your car break down on you and asking the police for help. The police who is there to serve and protect you. Giving CPR to an assault victim. Helping a disabled man. Distributing food parcels to the homeless. Going out for Skittles. Having a barbecue because Barbecue Becky will call the cops on you. Asking a woman to put her dog on the leash because Audacious Amy hysterically calls 911 to say an African American man is threatening my life, only because you gently and politely asked her to put her dog back on the leash for the benefit of wildlife. Nothing has changed. I don't even live in America and I am tired. Barbecue Becky was probably Cotton Field Courtney once, blaming an innocent slave, crying wolf over rape. Because how do you change the mentality of 400 years when your standard Caucasian American person equates a black body with property, dollars to be made, dollars to be lost, chattel to be sold and traded? Nobody, just a body hanging off a tree in scorching southern wind. Nobody, not a somebody, not someone's father or child or mother or daughter or sister or brother. A nobody, just a black body that can be plundered and pillaged. How do you change that mentality? I'm not black. I don't live in America, and yet I'm tired. And let's not pretend here in the UK we're any better. When I say we, don't get me wrong, you, because I made peace with the otherness that I've been pigeonholed for the last 20 years I've lived in this country. And let's look at the black history, right? Forget the other. Have you forgotten about Mark Duggan, who was killed in 2011 at the age of 29 in Tottenham by the police because they thought he was planning an attack? He wasn't. Have you forgotten Stephen Lawrence, who was killed in a racially motivated attack by police officers who were let to walk free for years as his poor mother campaigned up and down the country? go way back to David Oluwale, who, after a vicious campaign of months of harassment by the police, died on a murky riverbed in Leeds on a cold winter's night, being chased to his death by the police officers who were meant to serve and protect. His crime being a black man in the UK, chased to his death. Think back. Who started the slave trade? And who profited from it? Who proudly went around a quarter of the landmass of this world and colonized it? David was told to go home. He was a Nigerian in the UK. But UK was his only home. Because you know what? He wouldn't have been here if the British hadn't gone to his home first. And like David, many other people wouldn't be here if the British colonialists hadn't gone to pillage, plunder, and pillory the fat of the land and its people all around the world. Let's not fool ourselves. America was always there. It was not discovered by Christopher Columbus. Africa was always there. Victoria Falls didn't need to be called Victoria Falls. Not any more than Victoria Island in Lagos needed to be called Victoria Island. Lagos, by the way, is not even a Nigerian word. It's Portuguese, from the Portuguese colonial masters, but that's a story for another day. A friend of mine recently put on his status that he used to think that the subtle racism in the UK was better, where people talk behind your back, than the overt racism in the US, where they screamed at your face. And he wasn't sure whether he thought that way anymore, and neither am I. So if you're in the UK and you've just woken up this week to what the black people have been facing for centuries all over the world, and here in the UK, and you put a black square on your social media, please first hold a mirror to this country. While jogging while black may not be a crime here and may not get you killed, the cement ceiling is still there. Yes, by all means, sign the petition for George Floyd and help the fund for his family, and attend Black Lives Matter protests up and down the country. But don't drop the banner tomorrow and welcome by in your white privilege. Instead, educate yourself. Read Rennie at the Lodge. Read Slay in Your Lane. Read Afia Hirsch. Read Akala. Read David Olusoga. If these are too highbrow, then doesn't matter. Listen to Clara Amfo.
George Floyd, an unarmed black man who died whilst being held under arrest. Now, I didn't have the mental strength to face you guys yesterday, to ask, hi, how was your weekend, like I usually do with my happy intention, because I know that my weekend was terrible. I was sat on my sofa, crying, angry, confused, and also knowing, stuck at the news.
Follow Naomi Campbell. Listen to Stormzy. The very Stormzy who last year was being accused of being a racist because he created scholarships for black people, young black people, to go to Cambridge University. Because what? We live in a country where black kids are still not encouraged to go into STEM subjects. And instead they're encouraged to go into arts. Not that there is anything wrong with arts, but they are being discouraged to apply for Oxbridge. Follow these people. Learn about the British oppression that they don't teach in secondary school. Find out about the whitewashed history of black achievements, where no one darker than the shade of a latte gets a look in. And for goodness sake, don't ask a black person how you can help. That's just mental slavery. That's just getting a black person to do the work. Do your research. There's a lot of resources out there. And call out, most importantly, do not be silent. Call out the racism when you see it. Call it out when you see a woman on the tube being attacked because she's speaking in Punjabi or Yoruba. When you see a black colleague not get that promotion he's more than qualified for. When you see a whole team of beautiful, talented black and ethnic minority people Change faster than you can say BAME to a team of lily-white faces. Call it out when you see trolls tweeting about Diane Abbott, who's a black British MP who gets more than half of the abuses online aimed at female MPs. And when you walk into a boardroom and it's a sea of Pantone Gardenia shade, call it out. And that's how you can fight the subtle racism here in the UK while you protest against the racism in the US. Because in the words of Ijeoma Oluo, the beauty of anti-racism is that you don't have to pretend to be free of racism to be an anti-racist. Anti-racism is a commitment to fight racism wherever you find it, including in yourself, and that's the only way forward.